Are you
All right,
are you trolling right now?
we are
Nah, my
live.
mom got me drunk.
No, the Coli is way overboard with it, I think,
Oh
in my
shoot.
opinion.
I think the collie's a bit stuck on racial issues, but I mean it's definitely at like a crucial point right now in the United States. All the things that have happened in the last 10 years.
I was just about to say, what in the United States is not totally hung up on race and class and gender, just like the college is? Like, what society
The,
y'all living in?
the thing about it is, it's just it's such a waste, man. Nothing ever gets resolved. It's just talk. No one, and then the talk is super superficial. It's not even like in depth. No one's trying to really learn anything. They're just trying to.
So again, how is this different from mainstream society? How is this?
And mainstream society don't even acknowledge it.
Because it's so inherent in the culture. Racism and classism and sexism are so inherent in the culture. It's just accepted.
Here's
You,
my-
you, you didn't have to say anything about it.
to me, the number one, I made this thread in the root today. I think it was. It was racism is real. It was like a little video about the statistics about how racism it really like applies to society and shit. But most of the stuff that they were using, like just by knowing about it, you can defend yourself against it. Oh, I'm getting high interest loans, nigga. Just fucking bargain better. What the fuck? I mean, shit, nigga. Like smarten up yourself.
You're right.
If dealing with racial issues were all that easy, we'd be much better off.
It mostly is, man. Self awareness.
No, hey, knowing is part of the battle, brother.
That's
Knowing
most.
is part of the battle.
Systematic white supremacy. I don't even like. I don't even like fucking with that. But you know what I'm saying. Systematic sexism and classism, and that's not an issue. That's
Also,
not a.
but the battle is already won. We already got the law in our favor. So now that we know what's going on, we can use the law to our advantage. That's it.
I like where you're going with that. I like where you're going with that. But there needs to be some follow through and some execution. And I'm speaking like in terms of the people, like as being part of the people. Like we have to do better at that. Holding people accountable to the laws that's already on the books or laws that we want to see changed on the books.
That's on us always.
And we're doing terrible. I think it's like all-time lows, except for maybe like the big elections. We're at all-time lows when it comes to voter turnout. You know what I mean? Like we're not even. People are just becoming so apathetic. They're removing themselves from the equation, which is not being beneficial.
And then you wonder why politicians target the Hispanics instead of the black people. You know, it's like they turn out more.
Oh yeah. The voting block is about to be very different.
Pause.
Very different.
What we getting into today?
Be more.
Ah, yes.
Mo.
That's still going on, huh?
You would have thought. What are these people? Yo, how you gonna go down to City Hall on a Saturday when ain't nobody there, and then don't come and then don't stay down there on the Monday to go peep your officials? Or did they do that? Because I might have missed it, but I didn't see him down there on Monday.
The path of least resistance.
I mean, you know that City Hall is going to be closed down on Saturday, Sunday, but maybe they don't.
That's true.
But then why not come back on Monday? What was accomplished by going all the way down to City Hall and chilling on the lawn? They were on the lawn doing the fucking wobble. You know what I'm saying? Doing the fucking electric slide in front of City Hall, like that's really, you know what I mean?
Dancing. They was getting bucked.
They dance into freedom. They twerk into freedom. No, man, you gotta press these officials.
I don't know. I mean, unfortunately, there's guys in Baltimore posting in the forum, but I think one of the guys wanted to join, but he's been too busy or some shit. But, I mean, unless we're there, it's pretty hard to keep track on it. I mean, from everything I've seen, they're staying pretty on top of it. I'm still seeing news come out daily, just on like Facebook timeline and shit.
I guess we're really gonna have to see what happens, and I'm kind of just excited to see what's gonna happen with this trial. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting to say the least.
Well, one thing that I did read today that does matter is that the new Attorney General, who was finally accepted after 6 months or 4 months, something like that, Loretta Lynch, maybe.
Loretta Lynch.
Yeah, she's gonna do. She was invited or asked by the city's mayor to do a full investigation of the practices of the Baltimore Police Department.
That was gonna happen regardless, I think, because since they did it for Ferguson, I
Mhm.
think they were gonna have to do it for Baltimore as well. I mean, the big thing is whether or not any of these charges are gonna stick to the police officers, which I mean, time will tell, man. But I got low expectations.
What?
From what I understand, from what legal experts have been saying, I'm not a legal expert, so I don't know. But they saying she's a little the prosecutor's a little ambitious with some of the charges, and it's kind of like a
Aim
strategy
high.
to get them, yeah, to kind of, or maybe kind of get them to, like roll over on each other. Because if you facing like a
True.
murder charge or a serious charge with more years on it, you're more likely to tell, which actually brought up an interesting thought. I was thinking to myself, like, I wonder how much cops really snitch on each other compared to like criminals snitching on each other. Like this shit's got to be frowned upon seriously in the police community. Like, how much they really snitching on each other? I have no idea. I was just wondering.
Nah, they don't snitch on each other, man. Come on. Yeah, if they do, you know what I mean, they go in the hiding, or I mean, your life is on the line. You know what I'm saying? As much
Um,
dirt as they do, they getting body. They start snitching. You know what I mean?
don't know, man. The propensity is probably about the same as much as regular people, man. Like it depends on how much time like you're facing and how like much evidence they got against you.
That's
Yo,
what. That's what. Go ahead. Go ahead.
no, I was gonna tell you a story real quick. I know this state trip. I was over at this guy's house last summer. One of his buddies, a state trooper. He was telling me, I live in Pennsylvania. He was talking about in Reading, Pennsylvania. It's kind of hard luck town. He was saying the Mexican gangs, they don't snitch. Never, like 0% snitch. You know what I'm saying? But like the brothers, they before they even come in with the pen and the paper, they got everything all written down, everything with the with signing that paperwork. You know what I mean?
The niggas love saying.
Yeah, but can we talk about how hot Marilyn Mosby is? Would you guys take it?
Marilyn
Man,
Mosby?
that's the prosecutor, right?
Yeah, state attorney.
Man,
Yeah,
nah, yo, she got when she was up there talking about the charges and talking about all that kind of stuff. She had the little twang in it. You know what I mean? Like she had that sister going on, and I was like, oh,
I mean that's
yes.
whatever. I mean she's got resting bitch face. I don't want to deal with that.
That was mad disrespectful.
Yo,
That
she
was
got a
mad.
mean jawline though, for real.
I mean, she do, but at the same time, she's still a beautiful sister. She's smart, she's intelligent, she's articulate,
Yup.
and she out here
Yes.
fighting the fight for our people right now
Yes.
on the
Yeah.
front lines. You know what
Whatever,
I
man.
mean?
It's beautiful sister and all this shit because she got a black husband, but if she had a white man, y'all be like, fuck that bitch.
Come on, man. See,
I
there
would-
you go.
I would never disrespect her like that. I would never
No,
disrespect
maybe
her.
maybe not like that, but you wouldn't respect her like you do now. You wouldn't hold her in as high of an esteem as you do now.
I mean, I like the fact that she has a nice family. I don't necessarily, but see, you got to remember, I look at race different than you look at race. So you know what? Real talk, I do.
Oh, that is real talk. No,
You can tell because look, Obama is like his blackness is verified by having a black wife, and that's real talk. So I mean, you gotta explain to me how you look at race differently. I mean, because I don't know. You tell me.
I mean, I feel like people should be with whoever the fuck they want to be with, as long as they happy and doing what the fuck they want to do. I mean, like I said, I like the fact she got a solid family. I think, matter of fact, her husband is involved in the government, some like city council or
He's a
some
councilman,
shit.
I think.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So I'm with all that shit. You know what I
I
mean?
mean,
With all that shit.
nobody's against a happy family, man. I'm just saying that if I were like a real black, like pro-black person, I would feel better if they were like a black couple.
I mean, I see where you're going with it.
They ain't a black couple? He looks as black as hell to me.
No, they are. But I'm saying like, because I said that if she was with a white man,
Oh,
then
okay.
she wouldn't be so well received by the black community or whatever.
I gotta be honest with you. It would be an interesting little twist to the story if she had the white husband with the hella light skinned kids. That would be.
Then she'll be trying to overcompensate. She'll be trying to overcompensate for her whatever, you know. I
See,
don't know.
that's different level of Coli militant. Like the hardcore Coli militant would be like, fuck that sister, she a hoe, she a tot, you know what I mean? She would be like that if she was married to a white man. But the not so hardcore Coli militant, I think we give that a pass. We got to establish levels of Coli militantism. I'm telling
Militarism.
you. Yeah.
Militarization.
Some people are just way over the top. I'm like, you guys is just fraud, man. Just fraud for the internet. But some people just, I don't know. It's hard to explain on this site, man. It's crazy.
There's levels to this shit. That's all you gotta say, man. That's all you gotta say.
I mean, most of these quote-unquote militants are just trolling on there, too, because, you know, they're talking about pogs and shit, too. So
You can't wait. You can't be militant. You can't be militant and talk about pogs at the same time.
I mean,
there was a savage meme.
Women for being with women,
There was a Kermit meme that was talking about calling militants, but how they be in that good old gaggers thread though. That shit was potent. Oh, that was so potent. That got raptured for sure.
You mean tell me these guys is faking the funk out here? These Coli militants? I don't believe. I think they go hardcore all the way, man. They be pogging too. Oh.
People get behind the keyboard and they just get wild. You see that with like all the crazy, especially the racist comments. You go on any kind of like controversial video or anything like that, and you see people just wilding out in the comments, just for no reason, just real distasteful type shit. But what I was gonna ask is, what do y'all think of the chances of some guilty verdicts in this? I mean, the evidence is that, to me, the evidence is looking at it objectively, not taking into account. It's hard not to take into account, but not trying to take into account. I'm trying to be objective. No, it doesn't look like there's a lot of evidence to support the charge. He's fucked up getting into the truck, but there's nothing to be said what happens after that to justify the level of charges that they're trying to hit the cops with.
Well, have any of you guys actually read all the documentation as far as like what happened from the time they stopped them to the time they got them in or whatever, anything like that?
Nah.
Has that been released?
I'm not sure if there's a timeline out there. I think they got a timeline of the bus. Because there's several van stops, but I haven't read a complete timeline. If somebody has it, I'd like to read it, but I haven't read it.
I haven't read it either. I'm not even sure if
I
it's
mean,
out.
everything it weighs heavily on what their stories are, what they told, what they said. Because I mean, who knows, man? Who knows what the cops if the stories were corroborated with each other or whatever the hell like that.
I mean, hold up. Let's just be real. They're fucking guilty as shit. But it's about what can you prove in a court of law, and especially what can you prove in a court of law dealing with trying to prosecute police officers, because that's as we've seen and as has been demonstrated. That is just one thing. Like that's an extended part of the family. The judges, the lawyers, those are extended parts of the police, criminal justice family, and they just don't fuck. Because remember, even Oscar Grant dude got like less than a year, and that's some bullshit. And they shot that man on camera.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, but that charge is super weak though. I mean, they got this guy for second-degree murder because he's driving the car, and supposedly he got hurt jostling in the back of the car. That's a super weak charge, man.
And I gotta be honest with you.
Manslaughter at best.
If the tables were turned and like they were trying to give some regular Joes some charges like this based off the evidence that is evident, like just like you said, give a guy a second-degree charge for driving the truck, we would be in fucking uproar. We'd be like, here they go again with this bullshit, trying to charge us and get some trumped up charges.
Let's stick to the charge. I mean, first off, rip the supervisor and I think the driver is they're going to be guilty of his death because they did not follow police procedure by buckling that guy in. So I don't know what the they admitted
they didn't buckle him in.
No. And I was
no, they didn't buckle him.
Yeah.
But did they admit? How do you know they didn't buckle him?
It's been a minute.
That came out the first day, man. They came out.
I'm asking a question.
I'm serious. I'll look up of the news, but you can Google it. The first day he wasn't buckled, so they're guilty off
but
that.
That's not murder. That might be like negligent, some shit.
That's what I'm saying. At least guilty of negligent death.
Homicide.
6 months, no pay.
But if they stopped if somebody flips because I think I read one of the white guys told his girlfriend, he wanted to buckle him in or some shit.
Just lying ass up, you bitch ass bitch.
The thing that gets me about that, I mean, you know, it was the same thing with Eric Garnier. You know, it was against police procedure to use a chokehold, and you know the coroner ruled it a homicide or whatever he ruled it, but they still wouldn't. The grand jury didn't even fucking indict them. You know,
That's a fact.
and you know the unfortunate thing is, you know, the reality in Baltimore is most likely, you know, it's not going to be blacks in the grand jury. It's going to be all, you know, anything else they can find.
Well, I mean, Baltimore, they don't got no choice. You know what I mean? It's 64% black. They're going to get a black jury. So
I don't know about that, man. I don't have a lot of faith in that.
I guarantee it.
Yeah, I think there's going to be some
who are they
black
going to
folks
pick
out there.
from? You know what I'm saying? That's why they're trying to get the case outside of Baltimore. You know what I'm saying?
But either way, the police officers that got the higher charges are black than damn selves.
Yeah. So I mean, that's what this shows you, man. That's who's going to go to jail.
Actually, regardless, right? Whether it's gray or the cops, some black nigga going to jail.
Yeah, because I think the lieutenant is the brother, so you know he's going straight to jail, guaranteed.
That's fucked up.
They're gonna make an example of his black ass, guaranteed.
That's the way it goes.
88, he knows everything on the inside, trying to yeah, that's the way it goes.
It is what it is, man. I mean,
You sounded a little too happy when you said that.
nah, not at all.
He even chuckled when he said that.
Don't forget, we recorded. We got you on tape now.
No. But you know, you got to admit, man, whenever it's a couple black cops, a couple white cops, the black guy always gets fucking railroaded. That's a fucking fact.
No, it's not, man.
Come on, man. When?
I don't know. I don't have fucking details, but I wouldn't say it's a fucking fact. I hate that shit.
I'd say that shit is a fact, man.
I would agree with that.
Nah.
I think probably 4 out of the 6 cops do time. I'm not saying how long time, but I think.
But how do they determine who does time and who doesn't? Didn't they all do this shit together?
Well, everybody got different charges.
Who had what part?
It only goes that way when they're going against the public, man. They're not gonna hit these cops with something like that. Charge them all with fucking conspiracy to commit murder.
And I put that thread up today, man. Even in Afghanistan, like these cops that went on trial for the mob killing of this lady, they're getting a separate judicial shit, separate everything. Even in a fucking crazy ass country like Afghanistan, bro.
Middle East is another world, but I mean they're not too far behind us as far as judicial systems go. I mean,
yo, what if it's the black female cop told them that, yo, go break his fucking spine? What if it comes out like that? Will people flip out, man?
People's heads would probably fucking explode. They wouldn't know what to think. The racism would clash with their hatred of the cops, with their just fucking astonishment, and their head would just explode.
Let me ask you guys, how do you guys refer to cops in your areas, man? Because down here, like in South Florida, we've been calling them crackers for a long time. Even the black ones. I don't know if you guys call cops crackers where you at.
No, we only call white people crackers.
Yeah.
Jeez, deep in the South, man.
Like even the black cops are crackers over here.
Man, they throw around cracker like it's water, man.
You guys aren't confined to, social conditioning. Everybody's a cracker, huh?
Everybody's a cack, bro.
Jeez.
It's based on the role you play.
CAC. Do you guys use CAC in like in your
Hell, fuck no. Get the fuck out of here, man.
real life, man?
Man, if you say
Hey,
CAC in real life,
hey.
nobody knows what the fuck you gonna be talking about
I will
anyway.
confess, I use it all the
No,
time.
you don't, dog. You're a liar.
I use it all the time.
Who with though? Nobody
I
in
do
real
it.
life knows what CAC means.
Well, they always ask. I mean,
You tell us
I tell them it means Caucasian or cool ass Caucasian, something good. Say with my white friends, I'd be like, "Cacks go cack," It just flows. Like,
Nah, in the real life conversation, I have never used the word cack, although I have said crack as cracker. And I've never ever used coon in real life. Like, who says that?
I've never said that in real life either.
I say that shit all the time.
I've never said that on the collie either.
coon. I've said coon a million times up north, man. Come on. don't know what y'all talking about. We
I've
call
never
them
even heard
coons in a
I
minute.
never heard anybody else say it either. Like, that shit don't happen.
Coon is another one of those terms that got multiple definitions. Like, you ask 5 people what coon mean, you're going to get 5 different definitions.
Yeah, that's definitely true. That's definitely there's levels to cooning.
Oh, I love the word cax. That shit's just.
So but CAC really means cracker ass cracker.
Cracker.
It's an acronym.
Oh, okay. I was trying to figure. I assumed it meant Caucasian, so I was trying to figure it out. I just thought they figured out some acronym. I didn't know it really meant cracker ass cracker.
Yeah,
If
man.
it meant Caucasian, that would be weak as hell.
Well, that's what you tell them.
Yeah, that's what you tell them.
You know what? When they find out the truth, they gonna be shitty as you, Dad.
Oh yeah. Well,
Report to the
They
HR,
gonna,
bro.
they gonna be like, they gonna be like, man, you know what, Bob? He was calling us crackers.
I try not to refer to anyone as a cack, but whenever they're telling me some shit that white people are doing, I just cack's gonna cack. Like that's pretty much how I use it all the time. Cack's gonna cack.
Cack's
Well,
gonna
yeah,
cack,
that's what
bro.
cacks do.
Some cack shit.
Cack behavior.
Yo, what's up with them? The Senegal how you say Senegalese or something?
Yeah.
Senegalians.
No.
Senegalians. What's up with them selling out?
Senegalese.
That's some cat
Senegalese.
shit right there.
They want to go kill
Please.
some. They're gonna go kill some Arabials.
But what's the story on that? Somebody bring me up to speed a little bit.
They're sending 2,100 troops for Saudi to fight in Yemen. Saudi's such piss poor army. You know what I mean? They need all the help they
The
can.
Saudis to fight in Yemen for the Yemenis or against the Yemenis?
Against the Yemenis.
Against the Yemenis.
And what's going on between them two?
You gotta when you looking at wars and you looking at stuff like this, you always gotta look at it in terms of coalition, and you always gotta look at it in terms of global politics, positioning, and stuff like that. The story they give us is always some bullshit, always about democracy, or always about and trust me, there's a lot of internal clashes between different ethnic groups in different countries. That's without a fact, but it's never quite as easy and as streamlined as they make it seem, and there's always players behind the scenes trying to capitalize on the shift in power, to capitalize on basically trying to get control of the mechanisms of the state.
Yeah,
That's
I
true,
was just.
but I don't think Saudi Arabia has ever came out and been like, we're intervening on behalf of democracy. They're always talking about stability and whatnot. And
Yeah, I mean,
what you were saying though was
Isn't that the
correct
same
in terms
shit,
of, like,
though?
the balance of power and whatnot.
no.
One person says democracy, one person says stability. It's all bullshit. It's all either you're a threat to me, or I want to come get your shit. You know what I mean? Like I want the resources from your country, or I want to control your economic policy and your political policy.
Yeah, no doubt, but I don't.
I'm sure
Saudi Arabia cannot pull off that bullshit talking about democracy.
No.
Well, they don't say democracy. They may say stability, but whatever the case, it's all bullshit.
But I mean, their stability is kind of at risk by Yemen being unstable. I mean, can't really argue that.
Yeah, that's strategically he's correct.
That's a justification though. You know what I mean? Like that's
It's a valid one. It's a valid one. I mean, they can totally shut down shipping. And if it is Iran after all, which who the fuck knows, obviously that's a threat to them since it's their neighbor. I mean, America wouldn't stand for it. No country would stand for it.
That's valid.
Yeah, but are the Senegals coons for helping the Arabs? Because the Coli thinks the Arabs hate the Negroes. I mean, so they're thinking. My thinking is, are the Senegals coons for helping the Saudi Arabia?
Senegal is in West Africa.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you sending 2,100 troops potentially to die? Like, Yemenis don't fuck around. Potentially sending 2,100 Senegalese to die over there in a conflict they have
that's
no
just
stake in.
fucking the contract, bro. I mean, we send people everywhere all the time for bullshit just because we're supposed to. We have to. We have a contract.
Yeah, but how is Senegal going to benefit from what happens in Yemen? I mean,
Maybe Yemen's hooking up Senegal. Who fucking knows?
You know it is. They're not going to jump into a war and put
For no reason.
either Senegal is being told to do that, or they're doing it of their own free will to try to appease somebody. But it's always about the coalition. It's always about the coalition.
100%. really think about, I mean, how I saw this documentary, the one about the spread of Ebola this
Hmm.
last year and a half or so, and it's crazy how like how much in these other countries, because there's not as much communication. It's just so easy to spread misinformation or just, I mean, some lady stands up and says, "I'm a nurse. This was happening," and everybody believes her just because she's some crazy fucking lady. And like, so I'm thinking, yo, if one of us go to like a country in Africa or some third world country, and we start saying all kinds of crazy shit, we get 20 followers, we'll become the fucking president of the country, bro. I'm not even kidding. Because like those 20 followers, they'll convince everybody else, or we'll be fucking unstoppable. I mean, it's that easy. People crazy over there.
It's just a lack of education.
I just want to add, Senegal is Sunni Muslim, so I didn't know that. So that's probably the connection there too.
Right. And I mean, Senegal is one of the more advanced, I think, African countries. I mean, I was always told it was fairly stable.
What's really interesting though that I was thinking about, and I definitely, have not done a lot of research on the whole Saudi-Yemen conflict, but I do remember that when all that shit, do y'all remember when all that shit was popping off in the Middle East? Like it was like revolution after revolution after revolution, like back to back to back to back.
Mm.
Egypt was one of them, and there was a couple ones in the area. Yemen was one of those.
Yeah.
Yemen was one of those where they got it popping and they overthrew the government. Now, what I'm thinking is, obviously, when you look at Yemen, it is of ultimate strategic importance when it comes to all kinds of shit going on in the Middle East. It's the gateway to Africa in some respects.
Right?
It's the gateway. It's also the gateway into the Middle East, into Asia from Africa, a big trade route, as somebody mentioned before. So I'm thinking to myself, if Yemen got overthrown, and then a new group rose to power that was not in line with certain people's economic interests. Now, this could be the get back for that to try to reclaim the economic prosperity in the country.
Well, that's I think that's the what they're saying, thinking Iran is doing to the Houthis group.
Mm-hmm. And another thing, I guess, what I had seen and what I read is, all of the, Arab North African countries, Saudi pretty much controls the purse strings on all of them because they're all Sunni Muslim, and heavily invests in their infrastructure projects and pretty much everything, that essentially almost gives them their legitimacy. The governments that are in control there, especially now. So like Algeria, Morocco, Tunisia. You know what I mean, guys?
It's terrible. Senegal got to go out like that. Cooning. Disgrace.
You know what? I was thinking it's not. I mean, maybe Senegal's got some kind of relationship with Somalia, and Somalia got one with Yemen. So if Somalia went in, maybe Senegal got to go in.
But also remember, now keep in mind in this also, it's always gonna just like when you go to corporations and you go up high enough, you come to the same 5 or 6 corporations.
True.
When it comes to global politics, when you go up high enough, you're gonna look at the same 5, 6 fucking countries. It's gonna be the U.S. It's gonna be fucking England. It's gonna be fucking Russia, China. Yeah, you feel me? So it's like who and obviously Israel is in that mix as well, in playing a certain role, and it's like trying to figure out who is really playing who for what purpose. But it's not even that easy, because it's way more complicated, because you got real tribal shit going on in these countries, and real shit going on the ground, and ethnic dynamics that we're not even aware of, that are playing themselves out, that have been boiling under the surface for who the fuck knows how long. Like this shit is complicated, but it's definitely politics, or actually more accurately is economics.
Oh, and we're supposed to know about capitalism versus oppression, economics.
Oh, there was the good thread about what about the money revitalizing Baltimore. Did it go into the right channels? Was it used the right way? Is that even the right strategy? And there was a lot of different thoughts on that.
What thread was it in? What forum was it in?
Higher learning.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was basically, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but it's basically saying like how at a certain point in time, the government put in like 100, maybe like $50-60 million or something like that into investment into Baltimore, but they did so in terms of like building houses, I think, or like making like more housing available, and then people couldn't really afford it, or people took it out and couldn't really make the payments, or just
Why couldn't 130 million transform one of Baltimore's poorest places?
right.
I mean, it's not a lot of money, first of all. So,
130 mil is not a lot of money.
no, as
That's
far
my
as
favorite
infrastructure
one.
projects go, and even rehabilitating houses, that's not a lot of money.
For rehabilitating houses, it's probably not. But if you're talking about using that to, get some kind of some businesses started in a flow of goods and services through a community, $130 million is more than enough for a city the size of Baltimore.
Maybe, but I don't think so. I mean, just looking at it from the outside.
Well, it depends what you're trying to do. You know what I mean? If you're trying to turn Baltimore into New York, or are you trying to turn Baltimore into like?
Just give some folks some
Charlotte,
jobs.
you know what I mean?
Create some jobs, create some businesses, create some opportunities, create some job training programs for folks coming out of high school. I saw that was a good suggestion. Because really, again, all you're talking about is setting up a supply chain. We buy shit all the time. We're just not buying from sources that are benefiting us. But it does not take a lot of money to set up a supply chain as far as, all the goods and services that we purchase on a daily, weekly, monthly basis.
Yeah, but another thing that we learned is that I mean, even though you're pouring all that money into the community, it also matters a great deal where you live. I mean, where you live, I mean, it has a lot to do with how much you're able to progress, where you grew up or whatever. According to that other thread.
You got to put a roof over your heads. I mean, you have to have a quality of life. You have to have money to buy stuff from this quality chain. Your supply chain they're trying to set up.
But check it though. We're already buying this shit. You know what I mean? When you talk about black people or African Americans or whatever, you talk about purchasing power that rivals small countries. You know what I mean? So the money's already there. It's just the shit that we're buying and who we're buying it from. We're not being strategic with it. Most likely because of lack of options. Like, I don't know. I'm in New York and I still don't find a lot of what we would consider African American owned businesses, more than in your typical city, but not nearly as many as I see Asian owned businesses, Middle Eastern owned businesses. Even I see more African owned businesses in Harlem than I see African American owned businesses. You know what I mean? And that's really, like, we really got to think about that and re-strategize.
I mean, I'm down where all the West Indians are, so everything over here, like, not everything, but a lot of businesses, if I want to put money into that, I can. Yeah.
But see, some people wouldn't even consider West Indian, like the brother last time on the podcast was like, yo, Jamaicans ain't black.
Yeah.
Because you have a difference between African American, West Indian, West African, even though African's a whole fucking continent. But you see where I'm going with this, is that people put black Americans in their own cultural category as they can, because it's all subjective definitions anyway.
Oh, that's just a reflection of today's society. Everybody trying to be super different and all this other. But anyway, back to Baltimore. Another thing, you got to bring businesses into the city. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you get 130 million, you can fix it. I mean, the bigger part of being a fix is to bring businesses into the community so they can build there and give people jobs, and that's I think a longer term solution. So
I mean, gentrification could fix that.
But it's important who the owners of these businesses are. The owners of the businesses are very important because that's going to determine what community that money ends up circulating through. If you got Middle Eastern people running businesses in black neighborhoods, that money is not, the money being spent there is 9 times out of 10 is not going to benefit that black community, because the Middle Easterns are going to take it back to their community and spend money with their people, and that's how it works, and that's the community economics principle that we're not latching onto as African Americans.
Nah, man, because the employees are gonna be from the community, I assume.
Employees are not enough, man. We've been working for fucking 400 years, 500 years. Employees is not where it's at. I don't want to get on my dame dash shit, but we do need to get into ownership.
Somebody has to make the initial investment, man. If we don't got the money for it, we don't got the money for it.
But that's what the thread was about. 150 million is the investment. It does not take, the market is already there. The supply and demand is already taken care of. It's just a shift in who is owning the businesses that we're purchasing from. That's it.
That 130 million was spent on just fucking building houses, though. It wasn't spent on any businesses.
But that's the point. It wasn't built on something that is going to return value to the African American community, because people, one, can't even afford to fucking live in houses, can't afford the down payment, can't afford the mortgage, can't afford the upkeep, can't afford the maintenance, you know what I mean? So that's not benefiting. But if you invested in a business a profitable business that already has a supply chain and already has a consumer base, then as soon as you invest that money, you're going to start making money back immediately.
Not necessarily.
SBA already exists, man.
That's what?
SBA, the Small Business Association. Small businesses already get loans, man, for being minority owned or women owned or whatever stuff like that.
They do, but that's a rarity.
No,
You know what I mean?
it's not.
Well, hold on.
I wouldn't say it's a rarity.
Listen, but you can argue with the verbiage. I'm telling you from walking around. I'm walking around. There are not a lot of African American businesses, and I'm in Harlem.
But you know what? That's because African Americans are Americans overall, man. Americans work, though. Americans are employees for the most part. The people that put in the business, they're all fucking immigrants, bro, because they all come from their country where they gotta fucking do their own yard work and grow their own food, and they come over here and put up their little.
But hold up, I thought the Small Business Association and all that shit was giving loans to minorities and all that type of shit. And all these
they are minorities from other countries and minorities from America.
I don't see them in Harlem. I don't see African Americans owning businesses in Harlem.
But that don't mean it's not a minority owning the business in Harlem, though, man.
You said what?
It's because Chinese guy doesn't mean it's not a minority. It's a Chinese guy. He's a minority in Harlem.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I see Chinese owning shit in Harlem. I see Koreans owning shit in Harlem. I see Middle Eastern folks owning shit in Harlem. I see Africans from the continent opening up little tiny ass closet shops in Harlem.
But that's cultural. That's cultural to them. Americans that grew up in cities, that's not cultural to Americans. We get everything brought to us. If you're an American that grew up in the country, yeah, you're used to going to the corner store with Frank and Bill and Josh or whatever the fuck. Like everybody's just doing their own. Like if you grew up in the city, you're not used to that owning your own shit stuff.
But that's what we need to change. That's what I'm saying. We need more. We don't need to be employees anymore. We need more owners. We need more owners of businesses because that's how you circulate the money through the community.
I think, if you want to separate West Indians and Africans and everyone else, fine. But, the reality is, the black community as a whole does have, they are small business owners. There are a lot of small business owners.
If you take that whole entire group and can count it as a whole, yes. If you look at strictly African Americans, way smaller percentage. And that's fucked up considering supposedly this is the country we were born in. This is the country of our our culture and where we're from. We're fucking Americans. So technically we should have the largest. There's no reason a brother is I have no shame. I don't dislike it. I love entrepreneurship in all its forms. But there's no reason a brother can come straight off the plane from Africa or straight off the plane from the Middle Eastern, barely speaking the fucking language. You know what I'm saying? And opening up businesses and thriving, and I'm not saying they wrong for that. I'm saying we wrong for not doing the same thing.
I agree. You gotta have the drive, though. Not everybody's got that drive. I know you guys.
You saying black people are lazy, 88?
Oh my god.
Nah, dog. It's just like they don't have that.
I heard debate a mile away, man. I heard
that. They don't have the risk. Like my dad
in business, and there's nothing easy about it. But not everybody's got that drive that they can work themselves to death. Not everybody's got that. Period. You guys, think everybody can have a small business. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, but they working themselves to death for nothing now. At least work yourself to death for ownership instead of working yourself to death to fucking work check to check for somebody else who's about to fire you in 5 years anyway.
I agree with you, but it's just the reality is not everyone can do that.
Because I'm working second strike, man. I'm working. I got my little nest egg, got my little crib, and I'm doing pretty well for my damn self, bro.
Mm-hmm. But that's not everybody. And I feel you. Some people good with what they good with, but everybody's not in your situation. Everybody's not having their own crib.
Well, but you know how? Wealth is built generationally, dog. I'm the first one here, right? That's great, whatever. But I don't expect to be fucking rich. I expect to do okay. I want my nephews to do better than me. I want my sons to do better than me, and so on and so forth, man. It's not like I'm gonna be the one that become a millionaire. Nah, it's just we do it little by little.
And it sounds like you got a way to do it, and you're doing it without owning a business, which is cool. And I'm saying that it's cool if we can figure that out too. And there's going to be that crowd that does that also. But what I am saying is the part of the demographic that is sorely missing from the African American community is business owners. At least where I'm at.
That's our own fault. It's not cultural to American people, to American black people.
That's their fault, man.
I agree with that to a certain degree, but I
No,
also
it
think,
used to be cultural to American black people when there was segregation because they had to take care of their own shit. But then you know whatever they showed out on that.
But I also think there's something, and I agree with everything that y'all just said, and I don't dispute that. But I also think, in addition to that, there is something to be said for trying to live and survive in an environment that is expressly designed for you not to succeed and to fuck you up. You know what I mean? To like strip you of your livelihood, brainwash you, have you doing some shit that is really out of your character. Like, it's hard to survive in that environment, and it's hard to thrive in that environment. So I do see both sides.
I agree with that, man. That's another reason why the immigrants thrive better, bro. Because they don't come with that mentality. That oppressed mentality.
Yo, but I got my plan for fixing Baltimore. You take the 130 million, right? You go talk to Toyota, GM, and find any car manufacturer. Beg them to open a plant outside of Baltimore, real close, so all everybody from the city, they can get public transportation for that job. Get some land. You pay them. You give them like 30 million, 100. You give them 100 million for the buy off, and you get put 30 million for the land. Have them build a plant there, and that's where you give the people jobs. I mean, you got to think long term, or big terms. You know what I'm saying? If you want to fix a city.
That's an interesting point right there, because it brings up this idea of deindustrialization of a lot of these cities. And what happens under capitalism basically is when value can't be extracted from people, these people become a surplus, quote unquote, population. This is what happened in Detroit as well. So look at, everyone is seeing the pictures of the houses and the buildings in Baltimore, how dilapidated the city is. Same thing in Detroit. It's this neglect that goes on.
Oh, Dad, he said the C word. You better get it.
I know. I was like.
Well, you know what? Let me touch on that then. Like, the thing about bringing a plant or anything like that to Baltimore, to any area, to be honest, is that you need a skilled labor force, man. When you got motherfuckers asking for $15 to flip burgers and shit, and you need a college degree for everything, this is gonna be hard too. It's not cost effective, man.
And you gotta make sure there's a market for it. Like the car market. The car market is volatile. It's up and down. Like, I don't know how many new cars is being bought right now. Technology is always something that I'm thinking maybe tell Apple to bring one of those fucking factories they got over there in China over here. Put that motherfucker in Baltimore.
It could be anything. It could be an Amazon warehouse or Urban Outfitters warehouse. They're opening a place up in outside.
I heard from Christopher Wallace that UPS was hiring, so I don't know.
Yeah, a UPS super plant. You know what I mean? But you gotta get these people to beg these businesses to open around, or the Negroes got to move to the job. You know what I mean? My dad.
That's another thing.
Yeah, I mean, my dad grew up in the races of North Carolina. When he got out of the army from Vietnam, the white man wouldn't give him a job. So he had to move. He moved all the way to Pennsylvania to work. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I don't know what's wrong with black people think they're too good for that nowadays, but sometimes you got to go hard. If it's hard out there, you got to go harder.
It's not black people, man. It's Americans. Americans don't move, man. 80% of Americans stay where they were born, dog. Period. Like, people don't, even though, like, think about it, like in Europe, I guess you can say we're the size of Europe, right, as a country. In Europe, people go from Spain to fucking Germany to work. They don't give a fuck. In America, we won't go from California to Nevada. Like, we won't. We just fuck that shit. I'm in LA. I'm an LA person. Like, everywhere else, people move, man. You move to work, dog.
Yeah.
See, he got that mentality. He knows what's going down.
It's a big place out here, man.
I mean, Americans don't have the economic opportunity or, financial ability to even move at this point. I mean, that's how poor the majority of Americans are. And, there's definitely something ingrained in Americans how limited they really are in the mindset. You know what I mean?
We have to be willing to take a leap of faith, man. I mean, the immigrants that come over here don't have shit either, and they take a leap of faith, man. We could take a leap of faith to go from Florida to Georgia. I mean, it is
Nah,
what it is.
you know what though? A lot of immigrants that come over here, they do have some kind of family support. You know what I mean? Like they come, like there's already been some kind of in a lot of cases, there's already been a foundation already laid. Like I was talking with one of my peoples, and he was like, yeah. The business license is one of the first things he get. Like he's trying to save money so he can bring his cousin over here, and the business license is one of the that's one of the first things they get when they get over here. Like it's like your paperwork is already lined up, you incorporated, you know, because I mean New York is structured a little differently because it's you can open a fucking business in a fucking in somebody's back room, but the point is that it's a mindset of
They have that mindset.
yeah, they have that entrepreneurial mindset. Like, matter of fact, you got Africans coming over here, and they start out as they start out maybe like selling incense on the street, and that's they hustle, and then they flip that and start driving cabs, and then they make a little money off that, and then they end up opening their own shop or something like that. And it's just progress.
Yeah, but their kids won't have that, man.
Why not?
Because with each generation you get a little bit more Americanized. You'll be like you lose that entrepreneurial spirit, man. America's not about that shit, man.
I don't know about
We,
that.
we don't make stuff. We get everything brought to us. That's just what it is, man.
Yeah, but I mean, if you were a young child growing up in a household where like your dad is running businesses and then the business is in the family and that's what you're around, you're just gonna pick that up and it's gonna become natural to you.
Nah, I agree.
I mean, and 9 times out of 10, you're gonna take over that business regardless.
If it's man, 9 times out of 10, the business is gonna fail.
Or
I don't know. I think I'm speaking a little different because New York is structured a little different. It really is. Like when it comes to because when you think of a business, I'm not talking about maybe a brick and mortar. Maybe it's not even a brick and mortar. Some people, literally selling shit on the street. You know what I mean?
It's the same way, dog. You could do it. You could do it like that here too. But I mean.
But I don't know if you can be as proud. I mean, Miami, you definitely can. But I mean, as far as a model, they can. Scale like all around the country. If it's not a major city with a lot of foot traffic, selling on the street ain't gonna really do much for you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me ask you a question. Like, I don't know your job position or anything, but if you got offered double the money you're getting paid now to move to I don't know, Kentucky, would you do it for a job?
Nah.
Bam. That's the problem with America, man.
Let's say this: what if you didn't have a job? Would you do it?
Oh, of course. If I was in survival mode, but the reason I wouldn't go is because one, quality of life is very important to me, and I love New York City. I don't know a lot about Kentucky, and I don't know if I want to fucking live there. And there's no amount of money I can put on being in a place that I'm not as happy or even unhappy. And second of all, I really, really, really. For what I feel like I need to do in my life, New York is the perfect spot for me right now. And Kentucky is not. I'm not gonna be able to do what I need to do in Kentucky like I can do it in New York.
I feel
there you go.
I feel you.
So speaking, since we all getting money out here, man, who paid $100 for this Mayweather fight?
I sure did. I threw my homeboy $10. I was like, yo.
Backwards.
Yo, I didn't even watch the fight live. I downloaded it the next day.
Yeah, tell me how my dad shared the fight with me on Facebook. This nigga 80 years old watching fights on Facebook. Call me the next day. Oh, you saw my fight on Facebook? I'm like, what?
At the end of the day, people, no matter how Floyd win, people always complain about his style of fighting, but his style hasn't changed in fucking years. Like he's been doing the same shit for years. Like he's a defensive fighter. He barely gets hit. Whenever there's a flurry or an exchange, he's quick to utilize the rules of boxing, which says you can hold. You know what I mean? He does do that. But at the end of the day, man, that man is what, 47, 48? No, you can't deny that. That doesn't happen by accident.
Yeah, that's true. You definitely got to respect his skills, no doubt.
Why did it get turned into a racial thing though? It seemed like if you were against Mayweather, you were a Tom, or all the white people were against Mayweather, and they were rooting for Pacquiao.
Boxing has always been racial, man. Always from the beginning, bro. And not from the beginning, but from early on.
But it's particularly with Mayweather, because when Roy Jones had his run, it wasn't like this racial schism. It's definitely because of Mayweather.
You're right. It's more so with Mayweather than other guys. But when Roy Jones fought Ruiz, the white guys went for Ruiz, the black guys went for Roy Jones. I mean, It was always kind of a racial thing.
Oh, you was running for Reese, weren't you?
No, fuck that nigga.
Hey, listen, and you gotta remember that Floyd is more of a nigga than a lot of other black boxers. And he reminds white America why they hate niggas. You know what I mean? Keep it
Floyd is more confident.
So that tends to bring out the inner racist in people, like when they see a nigga acting like a nigga. You know what I mean? They be like, oh.
That's true, because I mean, Roy was more like a stereotypical country bumpkin type of dude. Even though I love him, that's my dude. But Floyd kind of, he's like, I'm gonna outsmart you type of thing, and they don't like to be outsmarted. They feel that we're not smart enough type of shit.
And they don't like the arrogance.
The internet also has probably, amplified a lot of that type of sentiment, and didn't really have that back in when Jones was in his prime.
You also got the racial tension of all the shootings and protests and cops right now.
That's another thing, yeah.
It's the social context.
And there's already racial tension between Latinos and blacks in a lot of areas, so that adds to it as well.
Yo, Floyd's the most hated. He has the white man hating him. He has the white woman hating him for beating women. He has the black woman hating him for beating women. And he has the Hispanics hating him. He has the Asians hating him.
I'm a Floyd fan, man. I don't like
Nah, he's a bitch ass nigga for putting his hands on a female though. Like you're a world class athlete in a boxer. Like why are you even letting shit get out of hand to the point where you have to put your hands on a female? You gotta be more in control of the situation than that.
You do, man, but bitch is crazy.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is if you on your job, you nipping that in the bud way before it even escalates to that point. You know what I mean?
You can nip it in the bud, you can do your part. But if they're crazy, they're crazy. Now if they want to take it to the crazy level, I can be crazy, that type of thing.
Yeah, but even at the end of the day, unless you feel like you are really in physical danger, like the most you got to do is you just hold a chick down.
Well,
just grab her and hold her.
I haven't read the Floyd reports. I don't know what happened between him and these women. But Floyd's a little dude anyway, man. Like my girl could probably beat me up, dog. She weigh what I weigh. You know what I'm saying? She a tough girl. But I don't know, man. Maybe Floyd felt like he was in danger. I don't know.
He has a history of doing this though.
Maybe Floyd.
Like it's not just one instance.
Yeah, but some people. I mean, some people is just like some people are addicts. Some people are like they have their physical problem. Like my dad, I grew up in a house where my mom was a victim of domestic violence a lot. Mm-hmm. I mean, and his dad was like that. You know what I mean? It's a bigger story. I mean, there's something obviously wrong with him, but my bigger point was he went to jail for it, right? So.
Oh yeah.
Then why did they bring it? He had fights since then, right? Am I tripping or what?
No. Yeah, but raised awareness, thanks to Ray Rice.
Bad guy too. I mean, you shouldn't fucking beat up a woman. That's reprehensible. But I mean, they need a bad guy for the fight too. I mean, Pac is seen as this great guy, so.
Yeah.
I mean, I even had someone say to me, Mayweather can't read, so fuck him or whatever. I was like.
Oh, that shit was so sad. Oh, that shit was so sad when he was trying to read that shit on the radio show. Mm-hmm. I felt so bad for that brother. I was like, damn. And then 50 came on and was
50 blew his spot hard, yo.
Oh, he was like, man, he said, fuck the ice bucket challenge, Floyd. I give you 20 million right now if you can fucking read Harry Potter, nigga. I was like, oh, shit.
Damn.
No chill.
Hey, but would you rather trade? Would you trade the ability to read to have all his money?
Fuck.
I bet his kids.
I mean, he spins reckless.
I'll pay somebody to read for me. You know what I mean? I'll pay somebody to read for me.
That's actually a good question, though.
That's a tough one.
That is a tough one. He got a lot of bread. He got a lot. It depends on how much reading you do and how much you enjoy reading. I read a lot, so that would be a significant thing. And plus, it would just leave you ignorant. You know what I mean? So you would lose all that money quickly anyway if you're not reading nothing.
I mean, once go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
No. I was just saying, man. I mean, maybe he spends his time. If he wanted to read, I'm sure he can try to learn to read now. I mean, I don't know, but it must not be that important to him.
Yo,
my dad learned to write when he was like fucking 35, 40, man. You could do it later in life.
Yeah.
Son sounded like he was reading on like a 3rd grade level, like no joke. It was bad.
Man, I stepped in a couple months at Sylvan learning something that can't help you, man. He'll be alright.
Was he like a Tiger Woods like child? Like, did he like as soon as he was like able to run, was he just training to box?
He was boxing since a youngin', yeah, like
13, right?
7,
13,
8.
14.
I think even younger than that, because his pops was into boxing.
Yeah.
So he been around it since a baby.
I don't see how his pops wouldn't like teach him how to fucking read it. I mean, his father was a huge boxer.
Man, have you heard his father talk? Man, he can probably barely read himself. And that's no disrespect. That's just those brothers. Those brothers are, man. They my brothers. They ignorant though.
I mean, I know people. I'm friends with somebody that can hardly read like that. You know what I'm saying?
That's gotta fuck your whole life up. I mean, I don't know. Maybe if you in a way of life that you don't. I'm sure there are ways of life where you don't got to do a lot of reading. But I don't know. Just working in the world, man. You gotta be able to. I don't know. You gotta be.
I mean, there's a lot of manual labor jobs, man.
Oh yeah, they are.
You don't need to read to build a house. You know what I mean? There's people that build houses can't read. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's a fact.
Exactly.
What do you guys think about the whole Jade Helm thing?
I didn't even know what that was.
It's
Yeah,
the,
I'm not aware of it.
it's the operation in Texas. I think the federal government's gonna sweep in and take over the Texas and all that. They got the National Guard on
That's a non-story, bro. That's too stupid to even read, man. Come on, man. What's more interesting is the provocative cartoon drawing they had over there.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And that was a setup for the world to go. Like, of course, you're gonna choose Texas. So if anything go down, you know they're gonna get shot. The whole mindset of the whole state.
Oh
that
yeah.
just increases tension. As just, I don't know. I don't know. It was ridiculous.
I mean, I think they have the right to, do whatever they want to do. I don't think people should be able to kill someone just because they're upset.
Man, I agree with you, but if you know, it's like having that friend and you know what button to push and you know if you push this button, you know he's gonna go off. Like, why would you even tempt that? You know what I mean? Like you asking for it, and I'm not justifying it by any means because you should never escalate the violence unless absolutely necessary. But why? You know how serious these people take this fucking drawing Muhammad shit. Like, you know this.
Right.
Why would you set some shit up where you know some shit is gonna go down?
Because you don't know how serious we take this First Amendment shit.
There we go.
Second Amendment.
I think that's a valid response.
Whatever it is.
I don't know. I've seen a lot of people.
I don't know what it is.
You guys see those Negroes stepping on the flag protest?
Did not see that.
No.
It's that got their ass put in the FBI database with the quickness. They fucking around.
No, but there's no. What's the difference between stepping on the flag? You got all these people. Oh, you should throw them in jail, kick them out of the country. What's the difference between that and then people getting upset over the drawing of Muhammad?
It's no difference. It's no difference. It's just that the American flag shit is just seen as the ultimate form of disrespect, and the drawing Muhammad shit is like, no, I will kill you over that.
It's the same thing, man. Some things are sacred to some people.
Yeah.
Well, the super conservatives can't have it both ways. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Fuck 'em.
That's all they try to do.
But you guys didn't see that, man? Oh my gosh, man! There was
You should have made there about it.
There was two black chicks. I don't care. There's been a couple. It's been all over I think the black colleges in America. There was two black chicks, and they just they're doing all. They just put the flag on the ground and walk on it in protest.
No.
These
Oh,
fucking
man,
we gotta evolve these protest strategies.
Yeah,
We're doing everything but what the fuck we should be doing. The only people that is gonna give us what we want is the fucking, not the only people, but the main people that we need to be addressing are the fucking politicians, elected officials that we put in office. Go see these motherfuckers.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why the fuck are we blocking bridges? Why the fuck are we, electric sliding on the city hall lawn on a Saturday?
On a Saturday.
You know what I mean? Man, I don't understand it. I do not understand it.
Yeah, yeah, it is pointless. You're right. I mean, you should maybe do some boycotts or put your money together. You're wasting your time trying to antagonize a group of people because you know how hardcore some people take the government and the flag humping. Like I've been in the Air Force and I don't really care for it. I mean, your brain, well, you're not born with these feelings, so that's why they make you say the God bless whatever you say when you're in school. You mean say that stupid ass fucking
Pledge of Allegiance, man.
Pledge of Allegiance. They burn that shit in your brain, yeah. And it's even worse when you're in the armed services. You gotta wake up every morning and say some bullshit. You got like 3 or 4 cadences you gotta spit out,
We
and
should
then
have just
go on
wilded
your
out in
day.
Baltimore. Baltimore is a disappointment.
How so?
Just a disappointment. We should have went way harder.
Oh
It
man,
is what it is.
Harder protest.
You wanted to run down on the fucking police station.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, you've been calling for anarchy since 2008, man. Since 2000, what? When was the economic downfall thing? You wanted no bailout. You didn't want any of that shit. You wanted everything. You wanted the shit to hit the fan.
Dead trying to get it.
You a libertarian or anarchist, man?
he didn't want to answer that.
Nah, he ain't never gonna talk. He ain't never gonna talk about how he really feel for some odd reason.
Not every position is tenable, but if we want real change, that's how it's going to happen. I mean, guys can talk about getting the good white people to work with us, but I just think all out before we get in.
It's not working with them, and you got to put pressure on them, man.
That's it right there. Pressure.
Put pressure on them, and I want to see more cats in school, man. Like another thing to
what
the
kind of
immigrant.
pressure are we putting? Where's this pressure coming from? Explain it to me.
The people just like there was a thought.
Lobby. We gonna vote you out. You know,
Lobby?
Not lobby.
Lobby.
Just like there was a thousand. Listen. Just like there was 1,000 people that was just marching on the fucking street, blocking the bridge, doing all kind of going all kind of different locations. If you take those same 1,000 people to City Hall on Monday morning with a list of demands and run up in, not that you don't have to run, just occupy City Hall and have your representatives go up and see the elected officials and be like, this is what we want, or we're voting your ass out of office, or we might just remove your ass out of office with haste. Man, you're going to see this shit switch over just like that if you hold them accountable to what you just said.
I completely disagree. I think if you believe that the actors involved are the problem, then you don't understand the problem. Like, switching out the politicians isn't going to change a thing.
Why not?
I agree with that.
That's an empty threat. The problem is systemic. It doesn't matter who you have in office.
But this is what I always say in higher learning. Systems are void of qualities like good or bad. It is the people in them that make them good or bad. So if you replace the people, you can change the culture of a system because a system is just a mechanism. It's a mechanic. You can use it for good or evil.
So the dynamics on a plantation with slaveholders and slaves, that's a system that could be reformed?
No, that's a system. No, that's an extreme example. That's an extreme example. And you have people doing mad shit against their will and brutalizing in
Just
the name
what
of
this system rests on.
Yeah, but it's way not that extreme.
This system is not like that at all because this system it gives us 100% the favor. Like we have. It's like ruled by law, and the law is in the hands of everybody. So
that's not true.
That's not
true, man. We can control the law.
No, we can't.
That's not true.
I can't see. I don't see how you think we can't when fucking a few mothers against drunk driving can change all kinds of laws. A few mothers against drunk texting can change laws.
A few white mothers.
It doesn't matter who it is, man. As long as you get enough people working for it. Because yeah, they work in the white community, but yeah, say I work in the black community and my official is black. If we all get together, he gonna feel that pressure.
Not only that, you gotta when you look at these protests, a lot of these motherfuckers that were protesting this weekend were white people. When I was looking at that march when they was going to City Hall, it was mad white people. It was like half white people. So the racial thing is not the core focus. The core focus is putting pressure on the politicians who make the policies and enforce the policies. And if they do not obey, I'm sure we can find 1 to 200 motherfuckers to replace the motherfuckers that's already in Congress or whatever to do a better job. I'm sure that will be very easy.
But do you realize how small a percentage we are of the population?
What does that have to do with what I just said?
Like, how are we going to replace Congress?
Because you're thinking about an all-black gorilla family Congress.
Oh, that's right.
I'm talking about. It ain't even got to be white people. It can be Asian people. It can be Latino people. It can be African people. It can be whoever. It can be but people who are intelligent, but who also understand the common good and how to make responsible decisions. Responsible leadership is all I'm asking for. Responsible leadership, and that's out there. We just have to put those people in places, in positions where they can do good.
Yeah, but I don't know. That's too complex, man. Because money corrupts, man.
But no amount of money can supersede the power of the people because we control the office. We control the office itself. We control the office itself.
Man.
Put it like this. Put it like this. You give me. Look. If you can have $100 million, or you can have 100 million people, and I guarantee you, the 100 million people will win every single time.
That's if the 100 million people are led correctly. You can have 100 million people going in a million different directions.
Of course, it's collective action. It's all based on collective action. You're 1,000% correct.
Okay.
But collective action is more powerful than the dollar. It always has been, and it always will be. Motherfuckers couldn't buy their way out of the revolution back then, and they're not gonna be able to do it this time. When the power of the people come together, shit changes. We just did it in a violent way in the past, where now we can do it in a more civilized manner if we choose to.
Collective action. Okay, I agree with
We
that.
got to burn all money.
I'll say that nothing is going to change without a militant working class movement.
We could go back to a barter system. Just burn all the money, burn all the banks. You guys ready?
We don't have to do all that. We don't have to do all that.
All right, maybe.
We can take all the mechanisms that currently exist in society and in banking and in government. We can just take them and we can just flip the switch. It's really that simple.
It's that simple.
The switch flip is very slow.
It's not.
But it is that simple.
I want to make a distinction. I'm not saying to do it is simple. I'm saying the solution is that simple. To do it
is that simple, but there's a lot of resistance, man.
Of course.
Yeah.
I didn't say it would be easy.
You guys know after the Haitian Revolution, they destroyed all the means of production. So, we could probably.
That's not a good idea.
No.
We need that to make the money.
Collectivize it.
Yeah.
To produce what people need to survive.
That's it. Dad, you got? I'm waiting to hear from you, brother. What's happening?
Look, I actually am a big fan of the lofty talk. I love this. We should all get together with the good whites and fix the system.
You are so fucking stuck on white people, bro. God damn, everything that come out your mouth got to do with the damn white man. Leave the fucking white man alone, Dad. Leave him alone, man. Get the white man off your brain.
Oh my gosh.
Leave the white man alone. You one of the good ones, huh?
Shit.
I'm just saying the problem is systemic, and I don't think the system is as easily swayed by just switching out the people that are in it as you think.
The system has been swayed in the past. I mean, it's already happened. How do you think we got from slavery?
It's never been swayed out of white people's favor, ever, at any point.
That's not even true.
Okay.
I mean, because at one point,
it was not in white people's favor.
Huh?
Yeah. What period do you have in mind?
Yeah. Just give me a date.
I'll give you what today's 2015?
Yeah.
I say 2045.
Oh, you're saying in the future? Okay. All right. Well, then, I mean, I can't argue with that. I mean, who knows?
I mean, well, in this country, yeah, but I'm saying in other countries, it's already happened. In this country, there's already been a lot of change.
But
it's not like change can't happen.
And one thing we got to get off of, and I hate to say it, but we got to get off of just trying to make it good just for black people, because we will never be successful with that. There's not enough momentum behind just making America good enough for black people. There's all kind of ethnicities. There's all kind of diversities. It's a melting pot now, and so we gotta just look at people again. We always gonna come back to this. We gotta look at people for who they are and what they bring into the table in terms of their character.
Well, let me tell you this. I think if anytime we try to do this everybody stuff, African Americans are always going to end up with the short straw. Like at the end, like we always come out disproportionately affected by anything negative.
That's just your inferiority complex, man.
Yeah.
You feel inferior. I don't know what they indoctrinated in you, man, but you feel like you ain't shit.
Damn, man. Damn.
Let me bring you up, man. You are the shit, dog. You can do it, man. You are somebody.
You guys are cool with me.
Yo, but he makes a good point. Just because they killed Malcolm, they killed Martin, I mean, you never know what can happen the next time something comes up. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, I read.
He can make it. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, Gonzo trying to deconstruct the Willie Lynch letter right now, man. Let that man cook, man. Go ahead, Gonzo.
I read this shit recently, man. It says that black people, right, when presented with their blackness, perform more poorly on tests than if you don't remind them they're black. Like if they got to check a black box in the beginning, it's the worst. But like that's that fucked up mentality, dog. I, for one, when I'm doing something against a white person, I'm like, nah, nigga, you ain't smarter than me. I'm the smartest motherfucker here. I got that black power in me, dog. Fuck out of here, man. Ain't nobody smarter than you, man.
So you think left to compete against white people in a free market, black people would fare pretty well?
If the playing field is equal, yeah, it's because people are people.
Absolutely. No, I'm with you.
In a free market, the playing field is not equal, though. In a free market, the playing field is not equal. Whoever owns the majority of the resources and the capital has the power.
But they don't want to talk about class, though.
I mean,
Dad doesn't want to hear that.
Look, the great debate is class and it's city versus country. That's the great debate. It's not even black against white, in my opinion, because
it's not.
It's city against country and rich against poor.
It's so much bigger than this. Is not 1960, and this is not 1965, man. This shit is so much bigger than just black people and white people. Everything is global now. The world, like, you know what I'm saying? The U.S. is a global place. New York is global. Like, everything is becoming more and more interconnected.
You got China over there laughing at us, dog. China laughing at us. China is literally Baltimore shit.
Yeah,
look at these fake motherfuckers in America talking about equality. Look how they treat your blacks. They saying that, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you made another point that we went through a lot tougher times than this. You know what I'm saying? If I look through the 60s, I mean, of course, I didn't grow up in the 60s, but it seemed like they walk down the street, you get your ass whooped. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's different. And now you got the internet, everything's multiplied 10 times 10, but it's still, it's not even comparable, you know.
I mean, the nature of the threat evolves. Just like society evolves, the nature of the threat evolves. So whereas before it was more overt, now it's a little more covert.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's still systemic. It's just a little. It's actually a little bit more dangerous because at least back then you could clearly identify who your enemy was and what the enemy structures were. Whereas now a lot of that shit is subverted, and you know, there's no way you have a chance to even win a war if you don't even know you fighting in one. At least back then you knew you was fighting in one. Now motherfuckers think it's sweet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just take notes and educate yourself, man. We'll be alright.
Yeah, you got it, man. You got it.
Education, right?
Knowledge is power, right? That's what PBS is.
True.
Alright, folks. Off my soapbox. I'll fuck with y'all next week.
Alright.
Alright, man.
Alright, bro.
Alright, fellas.
Yo.
Alright, fellas.
You guys.
Have a good night.
Alright, later.